The Always Smiling Faces podcast is now sponsored by Tyre Spot, the Northeast's leading tyre supplier with branches across the region. Tyre Spot don't just do tyres, they cover everything from servicing to wheel alignment. They can handle every aspect of your car's maintenance. For more information, visit tyrespot.co.uk. Enjoy the episode. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Always Smiling Faces podcast on the GallowgateShots YouTube channel. We have set the camera up correctly, even though it's not facing the three-way, as if it was normally a three setup, a trio setup. Mark is somewhere. We don't know where Mark is currently at this moment in time. A secret meeting. So we're just waiting for him to turn up. But Deka, say the magic words again.
We won, you know.
Get in.
And
it was away from home in the Premier League, Deka. It's about bloody time that we got those 3 points. We've been desperate for them away from home, and it came at a nice little time.
Oh, mate, honestly, I like it. Football is so funny, isn't it? Because I only cast my mind back a couple of weeks ago sitting with you lot, and I was pretty flat. I was pretty negative. We weren't creating chances. I was a bit worried. I wasn't like yourself having to get the banner up and that about how and stuff, but like, but no, I was a bit concerned about how we were playing. And then, you know, truthfully, if you take 15 minutes of madness out in that Marseille game, that week of football from the Man City game through, it's been incredible, and it's exactly what we've needed in this moment. I mean, I never thought in a million years that would be 3-0 up at half time down there. Like, I mean, them had just played. Me and Besty sat. Mark wasn't here last week. It was great. And they were playing Man United, and they were down to 10 men dead early. And they got a great result there. They were resolute at the back, really strong. And I actually watched the highlights when I got in because I'd missed most of the game being here. And I thought, God, typical, we're going to play them next. You know what I mean? And for us to turn up and put that type of performance in is unbelievable. And obviously you went.
I did.
So I'm really interested. I haven't spoken to you. I'm interested to see what, you thought of the ground, etc., etc. But we'll come to that. But yeah, amazing day. Amazing night.
It was fantastic. Yeah. We'll talk about the ground now before we get into the performance. Okay. Do you have any questions that you want to get out? Or
well, you know what I'm like for stadiums and stuff.
Yeah.
So did you go in the club shop? I know you didn't.
I didn't.
I knew you wouldn't have. No, joking. So what's it like appearance-wise when you turn up? Is it like, I don't know, is it impressive? Is it
so you can say from a mile off? There has been a question as well from Jules as well. Hi Jules, that says how was the Hill Dickinson Stadium? What did you make of the access and facilities? So I'll be honest with you. I think you could create a big list of pros and cons. Pro being, it looks fantastic from the outside. Visually, it looks amazing. You've got like the old, like it's got an old building feeling at the bottom half of it, but then you've got the bubble on the top of it, which is the more modern style stadium as well. So it looks fantastic. The area around it. So what I mean by that is outside of the stadium itself, but still within the boundaries, let's say, of the stadium. There's a nice little village, I'm going to class it as, where they've got like sort of portable toilets in there. They've got loads of food trucks and stuff like that, which is nice, which you don't apparently need a ticket.
Can you get a beer in
to get into?
Well, yeah.
I didn't see any beer trucks, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I didn't see anybody walking around with any alcohol. So I think it might just be inside the ground that you can get it. Turnstile, there's only one turnstile for away fans to get into, but it was managed unbelievably well. There wasn't any queues or anything, just walk straight in, and I walked in about 20 minutes before kickoff.
All right. That seems like totally
weird.
The opposite of what you'd expect. One turnstile.
Is it a big turnstile?
24, just like your average style turnstile, to be fair.
Wow.
But
it's electronic again.
Electronic, yeah.
What about big? I noticed the ones at St James's Park are getting tighter.
I think they're just getting bigger.
Well, that's getting harder to get to. Them, I think that I don't know if it's the Twits. You read the Twits by Roald Dahl. When is it Twits where it is? They've got a lass who lives with, I forget, it's just like a daughter or a granddaughter, and she's that dickheads these two. Like, so what she does is she starts like they've both got walking sticks, and she starts like either sewing bits off or like gluing little bits on to make the walking sticks bigger or smaller, and she's bigger, and they lose their minds. I think that's what they're doing to James Park.
I don't think though.
They just add extra bricks. I was
going to say that.
Slightly,
what I was going to ask you is obviously this will sound stupid because people probably know and they'll be like, "What is he talking about?" Obviously, I see the image all of the time of the side where it's nearest the river. If that does that, it looks so impressive.
Yeah.
Is the other side identical to that, or is it totally different? Because that seems to be the side, if that makes sense.
It's a lot tighter from that side, so it's hard to tell from where you are, because that's the way the away fans go in, I would imagine.
What, the riverside?
The opposite side of the
That's
riverside.
what so when you went in, did it?
Can't see because it's quite narrow, that bit. It's quite narrow, so you can't really see it.
Yeah, because the pictures the cameras always show you is that really impressive.
I would imagine it'd be identical.
Okay.
It'd be a symmetrical building, just like it is inside.
You're probably better off seeing it from the other side of the Mersey, where you get a view, because it's really on the riverside. When you're still looking at it, you're looking like up.
Oh, I mean, like camera-wise, every time I seem to see a picture of it or a flyover, it's always that side of it, which looks so impressive. I was just wondering if the other side matched it at all, or was it just like...
There's a couple of like, cause do you know what it is? That's probably the first new stadium I've been to in the Premier League, and it was nice. Like, it was nice, and you can see why. Obviously, the club are open, like Newcastle are open to build a new stadium because of what you can bring. Two massive negatives though is one, the infrastructure around it is horrendous. It's a good half an hour walk no matter where you are to get to it. There's no public transport or anything that'll take you there. Obviously lack of pubs around there as well, because you've got it. There was about 4 pubs, but they're all just full of Everton fans, to be fair. Me and Joe snuck in one, just zip our jackets up straight, just jumping in one of them. And it fucking stinks. So inside it smells like shit. Like, and it's apparently because the sewage plant really close by.
So what does it really smell like, Kris?
Honestly, it's honking.
I bet it's grand, but Joe, shut yourself out and just want to
straight in with it.
No, honestly, it's absolutely honking. But overall, it's a nice looking ground, and it's nice inside.
So when you say like smell, is this full 90 minutes of a game here? You are smelling this.
You get used to it, so you forget it's there.
Okay.
But when you first go in there, you go, oh, what's that smell? And you do think somebody's dropped the bait around you, like.
Yeah.
And it was sewage related. Is that correct?
Sewage. Yeah, it stinks like.
That's bad.
With being where it is, I don't expect there's what they could do about that really either. Like get some great plugins on the go.
That's what you need. Just pump it through.
Breeze.
My next question was sort of the concourse areas. Is it big, wider, like, for example? Or
so it's a canny size. It's not as big as what Wembley is. So Wembley's concourse is huge.
Yeah, it is,
obviously it's a bigger stadium. Let's be honest. Was it 55,000? I think.
It's big on St James's, but not by a massive amount.
So the concourse area isn't huge. Very modern, but I'll be honest. I said this in the group. I hate people, so I tend not to spend a lot of time in the concourse because it's just full of everybody like pissed out of their heads, and fair play to them, like if they want to do that. But I hate being in a crowd where I'm getting like barged into and stuff like that. So, like my West said, I spent more time outside in that little village area. We had 20 minutes before kickoff and just went straight in my seat, to be fair. Joe went down at half time. It was lively, busy as every concourse when Newcastle are winning. But yeah.
Well done for going, because you got the 3 points. You brought them back for us, so thank you for going.
We did. But the game itself, Besty.
Mm-hmm.
What a performance from the lads, and a few changes. And the biggest change that I'm going to start with is something which was mentioned in Eddie Howe's press conference. We've had this discussion in doing the podcast or in WhatsApp groups and things like that. But Nick Pope didn't even feature in the
squad at all. No?
At all. Yeah. Apparently a groin injury which he picked up the day before. So Ramsdale had his opportunity to come in.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts on that? First of all, do you think it was about the right time to do that?
Yeah, probably. I love Nick Pope, but I think the mistakes he's made. I think we kind of said last weekend or the weekend before, he was kind of on his last one really with the goals he conceded against Brentford and the West Ham thing when he punched and Paquetá scored, and then that kind of rush he bloody had against Marseille. Which was just, I still can't get my head around. He's got plenty of time to stop and go back. He didn't do it, but we'll probably cover that later on. I thought, like, yeah, he's almost played Ramsdale in the team there. And yeah, I think it's right that he was dropped. I love Nick Pope as well. I think he's a great stopper. But the mistakes, every keeper makes mistakes. We saw Pickford make a mistake in our game. Vicario for Tottenham made a mistake. Keepers make mistakes. Because people, you know. Aaron Ramsdale's no stranger to mistake either. But I think the regularity with which Pope was making mistakes, I think it's right that when you've got to keep of Ramsdale's perceived quality on the bench.
It was again at the point where it was kind of costing more points in games.
Oh yeah, I mean we said before we started, like Deka said, that 15 minutes against Marseille cost the game totally. The second goal's not his fault, but the first one completely. The West Ham
momentum swinger, isn't it?
Big style, yeah. I mean the two that the Paquetá one and the one against Bournemouth, I'm fairly sure were both equalisers as well. So momentum totally gone on all three of those goals. You know the mistakes he's made. So the big mistakes. So yeah, I think the right time to bring Ramsdale in, and I didn't see the first 87 or so minutes of the game.
All of the game, then.
Because I was in Newcastle getting rained on at the Christmas market. But Ramsdale, glowing reviews. I think he's played pretty well. From what I can gather, he can't do anything with the goal. Or either goal, the one that's disallowed was just a shank, and the other one was a good touch by Dewsbury Hall. Maybe I've not seen that many times. The defence could do better with it, but from what I can gather, people seem to think he's played very well. Good.
Well, I think
passing, apparently.
I have my opinion on this, but I also think sometimes you could have put me in goal and people would have said I did really well because they wanted Pope out so much.
That was
does that
definitely,
make sense about the blink-eyed view of it?
But now, confirmation bias type of thing.
I will honestly say I did think he did very well, but he didn't really have that much to do as a goalkeeper. However, he made 3 passes in the game, which I commented straight in the group on. That were just brilliant, you know. I have to say, one of them in the second half, mate, was Ramsey should have scored. Like, he bottled it for me.
Another one eye.
It was lovely, but I have to. We'll come on to it later on in terms of what passing. Certainly in the second half for me was amazing. But he had his foot on the ball, rolling it for a bit, and he passed it straight through the middle into midfield.
So direct.
Oh my god, it was absolutely perfect. And whoever it was, I apologise, I can't remember. Turned on the ball. Next thing you know, a few passes, Ramsey's in.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, wow, that was just amazing. And there was another one he did, which wasn't necessarily a pass, but it was he took a touch. And I believe, here's the boy. I believe that Pope would have just smashed that out to play. I really feel Pope would have just smashed out to play. He took a touch, had a look, and he tried to play a long ball down the line, which then turned the defence on and he had to head out for a throw-in. Well, I just shifted up the field 70 yards, like within one pass. And I know that, you know, people might go, oh, it's only one pass. Honestly, the pass he did in the midfield was amazing. I also wanted to mention
he's been 2 seconds and he's broken the mic already.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury.
Mark's
this is some sabotage going on here. Look,
you were sat there last, weren't you? I know you were here last week. It was me.
Sabotage.
Honestly, carry on, Deka.
I want to mention his press conference on 2 parts. Eddie Howe's. Anyone watch it today? I've watched it.
I've not
watched today's one yet.
So I watched pre-match, post-match, and then pre-match. So 3 in a row.
Yeah.
So he's been sent for a scan. So on Saturday, when they asked, they asked him after the game on Saturday, and he went, well, obviously he's going to go for a scan. I don't have any update for you now. They've asked him the same question today, and I really need to come on to this next point, which I find hilarious. He said, I've got no further update for you. The scan's still sort of waiting. So 100% Ramsdale's in tomorrow. So the results of the scan hasn't even happened yet. So then someone asked him, and I think it might have been Keith Downey. I think it was. Keith Downey asked how. Oh, so it was Ramsdale's debut in the Premier League. He did really, really well. I bet he's really high and flying off that. What was he like? He went, I haven't spoken. He went, I haven't spoken. And I was like, what? Like, it was the most strangest. He went, I spoken. Due to media duties, I didn't have any time with him. What? So you didn't speak to him all on the way back from Everton then? Like, it was the most strangest comment I've ever heard. Ever? Like, that is mental, right? Yeah. That's mental. Yeah. I don't know. People might think I'm overreacting here, but it was the most strangest comment I've ever heard.
You're definitely overreacting. Like,
no, but
it's not like he's going to be wandering around the bus talking to all the players.
Oh, come on! After the game, on someone like Eddie Howe, who's ringing Isaac Hayden, who's making hot dogs at Norwich and that.
Oh, that's
and he's
true,
like, he's like, how's your weekend been? Like, and he's telling me after the lad's made a Premier League debut, he's not going on and going, "You all right, man? Really well done." I never spoke to him. Is that not a bit mad though? Even if he hasn't spoken to him, I can't believe he's actually said he hasn't spoken to him.
That's a good point, to be fair.
Thank you.
I hadn't thought there.
Mark is here. Those that are listening on the
audio.
Everybody
back from his special guest appearance.
So Mark has been in a secret meeting now. We'll get onto that later on towards the end of the show.
This one wasn't secret.
And can I do one more thing?
Okay.
I met a lovely man yesterday. I went to the Polar Express, seen Santa, and I met a lovely guy called Andy. So Andy, shout out for your mate. He loves the podcast. He watches every week. It was really, really nice to meet him. I was getting a picture taken, and I just heard this guy go, "Are you Deka?" I was like, oh, so I don't know. And then he watches the show. He thinks we're all great except him. No, I'm kidding. He likes you. But nice to meet you, mate. Thanks very much for watching.
So just because this was a question, I'll just ask Deka, Mark. What were your thoughts on Ramsdale's performance?
He didn't really have much to do, did he? In fairness, it's a difficult one to judge on an overall performance. Certainly, you know, his kicking was better than what we've seen in the immediate past with Nicholas in goal.
Better or superior?
Well, I mean, those are pretty similar, aren't they? It was definitely better and superior.
He looked like Zidane compared to both.
I mean, he only passed the ball twice though, and I do feel that there has been a massive overreaction to 90 minutes in goal, where he has made 2 passes, realistically.
And Deka said the same.
But
previously,
to be fair, the passes are passes we have never ever seen before from Nick Pope.
Did you see that pass in the
The one
second half? of
directly in
midfield?
the midfield.
Not with his feet.
No, 100% with his feet.
No, I'm saying
not with Nick
Oh.
Pope's
not
feet.
with Nick Pope's feet.
I know you've just come in the door, and he might that pass into midfield that he did, which then broke for Ramsdale.
Yeah.
That was a good pass, right?
It was, yeah.
That was really impressive.
And I think we'll all have to be honest. There will be a point where he tries that pass and it doesn't go to plan. We know that will happen, but it's nice to see the player being started in that way.
Yeah, I mean, it does get you onto the front foot. Particularly, I think for me, the ball where he kind of does that. I think it was Schmeichel that really made that side kick, kind of the fashionable one, wasn't, where he pings it out to the left hand side. That one was the more eye catching of the two, and gets you literally into the final third and in their half, doesn't it? On a break. Whereas when we have had opportunities in the past, it's always been coming from Pope throwing it out, because he has got a very good throw, as we've seen. Trying to do that with his feet, we know where it's going to end up.
I did also want to mention the corner that was potentially handball that got mentioned a lot. I thought he did remarkable for that as well, if I'm being honest, because that was in. I mean, I know about, but he did really well. I thought.
Oh, when he got around back to Harvey Barnes,
around Harvey Barnes. I did think that was good goalkeeping personally. But no, I think I agree with Mark in that. Sorry, what I wanted to say was, so there's been a lot of pressure put on Pope.
Just stop it. That I agree with, Mark.
No, I do. No, I do. Honestly, I do. There's been a lot of made of Pope, right, and a lot of pressure on his shoulders. And I'm not saying that. I'm not saying Howe's lying that he's gone for a scan. Maybe he has, right? And he has a groin problem. The reason why I don't really believe it is that post-match after the Marseille game, he didn't mention anything about an injury or anything, right? However, let's get away from that.
Yeah, but that's because it came later.
Well,
allegedly.
Just while we're discussing that, I want to bring this up because Josh has sent in a donation. Hi, Josh. He says, because it's about this subject. He says, what did you make of Pope's injury at the weekend? Convenient time, isn't it? Do you think he spat his dummy out upon hearing the news?
No.
I don't think so, no.
I don't know if part of us is thinking right. Do you know what? Probably the truth is, right? Probably he is injured. He has went for a scan. It's Ramsdale's turn. Part of us thinks the conspiracy side of us is like, rather than it making him sound he's being dropped, the injury makes it more palatable. It's like, it's okay, right? It's, you know what I mean? But listen, Nick,
it takes the pressure off Pope as well, doesn't it?
That's what I mean. Yeah,
so it's good. It is good man management.
If
that's the case that he's he's done it, but
that would be in that case. But I don't think Howe's scared to drop people. I don't think. I don't think he's scared to say, "Oh yeah, like we're trying something else because it hasn't worked recently with Nick Pope and all that."
And everyone's talked about the pressure. Sorry, the pressure on Pope in regards to criticism. Time. Now, the other side of that is, I actually thought there was a lot on Ramsdale going into that game, because everyone's calling for you because you're like Zidane at the back here. Like, I'm sorry, but if you do a mistake, like, well, who's next on the line? Rudy can go. Like, I still think there's a bit of pressure on him as well. Like, so I think he did really, really well. Of course, he's got experience. He's gets relegated everywhere he goes. But you know what I mean? He's got experience. I understand that.
I saw a thing earlier today, and it was this. It was on Instagram. This kind of these two graphics, and it was a comparison of Pope's kicking against Brentford. Pope's kicking against Brentford
every week,
and Ramsdale's at the weekend against Everton, and how more expansive, how much. But then remember Nick Pope against Brentford had Trippier right back and Dan Burn left back, and there's been a lot made of the fact that we didn't have those fullbacks. Now they're back, now performing. So Pope, if he's got those available, he will be playing the ball a lot more, and that's how the kind of attack. So I think there's and I think I said earlier, I think it was time. I think the mistakes Pope's made were enough and frequent enough that it's you have a few weeks, just take a break and all that. Like, but I do think there's been a lot of I said it earlier, confirmation bias, where people are looking at someone going, "Oh yeah, look at Nick Pope shit," and he's not. Nick Pope's a brilliant goalkeeper.
Absolutely isn't.
He has had a bad run though. I've got to say that. I know
he has, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He has. Yeah. I mean, the Marseille game seemed to be the tipping point.
That one against Marseille, that was horrifying.
Mental.
I stand by, and I think it was on here last week. I can't remember if it was on here, if it was on the match preview. He looks scared, Nick Pope. He looks like he shat his pants.
But as I've said loads of times, is it any wonder when if the ball goes anywhere near him, not the whole crowd, 99.9% of the crowd just shit themselves before Nick Pope even goes anywhere near the ball?
What's funny is he wanted to come and get the ball against Marseille. That was what was funny.
He seemed screaming at Aubameyang as well.
I get that, but Not 3 days earlier, he'd done exactly the same thing. Beat Haaland to the ball and won it.
Not me. That's
He didn't.
It's
them-
50-50,
them are
isn't
the-
it?
He didn't. You're right.
Yeah, he didn't win it.
He put him beating the ball, but missed.
Yeah, but that's the fine line is when you make that decision, isn't it? If you get it wrong, I'm sorry, it's going to cost you.
The thing-
Tottenham keeper did it yesterday. You just if you're gonna do, when them do something as drastic as that,
Yeah.
it normally leads to the
The
goal.
thing was,
right?
the Haaland one, it was Pope and Haaland. This one against Marseille was Chow and Aubameyang.
Yeah.
And Pope introduced himself.
And the Great North Run in between them two.
Though my eyes went straight to Fabian Schär, who kind of, I think, instigated a lot of that. Yes.
Are you looking at the second
Pope.
goal?
No, he's
the
looking at the first
The
one.
first one
100%.
The Marseille one.
Yeah.
When Pope.
went on a one.
Where Pope comes wandering, but
Yeah.
a lot of that starts because of Schär's position.
The commentator at the time said something about he drew these lines of the two centre halves have let him run through. That happens a billion times in football matches, in my opinion. And Chow would just usher him to the corner.
Well,
Something may happen. By the
Chow's
way.
quick enough, and
Chow would just.
Yeah, he's
fine.
going nowhere really.
How many
Capable
times do you
enough just
see
to
that
kinda-
ball down the line almost?
even if he just holds him
Defender
up,
comes-
holds him up
exactly.
until
Exactly.
Or just clatters him.
There's just no reason for Pope to come out. It's just
It was quite funny.
He thinks he's going to win the ball, isn't he? It's
that 40
fine margins.
The one where Pope's just screaming at him. And then,
I
it was a mint
one.
finish, to be fair.
Oh,
it was a
Great
great
very
finish.
good finish.
So was
Yeah.
the Bournemouth, ironically, won at the weekend as well. Harry, no, who
Oh,
was
the
it?
halfway liner.
No, the one. I wasn't Bournemouth. That was against Sunderland. Who Tottenham played at the weekend?
Probably Brentford.
That was a great finish. Yeah.
It was
It
Brentford.
was a Brentford.
It was Brentford.
Actually, I thought it was actually Bournemouth. Is that second there? But that was great. It was a really good finish. That
Yeah.
I know Vicario was like no man's land, but it's a good.
Honestly, when Aubameyang got that ball, I thought, nah, it's fine.
Even when he hit it,
Nah, he just-
when
crazy
I first saw him
bends
hit, I
back,
thought it was
isn't
wide that, and it
It's
bends
because
in.
the week before, Deka said, yeah, I went, shit, now to worry about.
Yeah.
I
there
mean,
was-
he's had a lot of experience watching them at
Yeah.
Arsenal over the years,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
true, right. There was someone else said that actually. I remember saying, "Oh, he's finished. He's 36 and blah blah." I watched the podcast and he went.
Was
and
full
scored
of
two.
that score, apparently, was it?
But,
That we're playing.
But I think there is a lot of talk about this situation, and also what I want to mention again in his press conference today, he got asked about Pope again, and the sense that he gave to me was as Pope's number one. Like that was the feeling that he gave. Now that could be incredibly good man management in a press conference setting of. He's not really giving anything away. He's still believing in Pope.
Relieving
And it's-
pressure as well on Ramsdale a bit.
yeah,
by
it's
doing
like
that
it's
as
kind
well.
of clever. Where I suppose Howe's never really going to be massively honest in that situation, maybe, and he has to make sure he's got Pope's back as well.
I think
I think he is being honest there, though, because I think Pope is his number one. But just given the circumstances at the
Aye,
moment,
but then so you
that's
don't
what's
speak to your number two.
led it to come to him
still meant-
now being in
Forget
there.
he's even on the coach.
I think
I forgot he was playing.
this could be Ramsdale's chance, though, couldn't it? Pope,
Absolutely.
If he has got an injury and we've got the amount of games we've got coming through at the minute, Ramsdale will be playing tomorrow night,
Getting a run again.
possibly at the weekend. Southampton aren't doing much in the Championship at the minute. They're lower mid-table, and he's only on loan from there. So if he gets a run of games, this could be him kind of trying to get
I
a
said at
permanent
the
move,
start
this.
of the season that I thought would get halfway through. We're only at 13 games now, aren't we? That he would then come in and be number one. I said that from day one. He will eventually take him over, and this is his moment to try and do that.
Yeah.
Because he could fall flat on his face as well. Let's be fair, right?
Yeah,
He could
I-
be. Let's be fair.
I'm not convinced. I didn't watch a game on Saturday, so I can't comment on what happened. How he played or anything like that. But
The idiot's
I
giving
still
him
think-
shit for the offside goal, by the way. Oh, sorry, the handball goal. I've seen a lot of people online saying, "Oh, he should have done better for that one." The one that was a goal but didn't count.
yeah,
he
One-
can't get anywhere
I've seen
near.
I've seen him get playing for both of them.
Even the
Yeah.
lad that scored didn't know it was gone there.
I'll-
He shanked it.
that was one of the worst goals I've ever seen. The handball when he's trying to head it,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then the shank.
And
But
then,
you could have Manuel Neuer and go for that, or like the youngest, like Donnarumma. It comes off the bloke's shin and spins
Yeah.
into the top
It
corner.
was-
There's nobody.
got no idea.
It's just one of those ones. But no, the two goals, I don't think there's any blame for Ramsdale. The goal in that one for Ramsdale. I still would say that on the balance of everything, I think Pope's a better keeper from what I've seen. But you look at Pope's mistakes and think, well, Ramsdale's got a chance. He should have a chance to prove himself now.
I think that's a really good point. That if thinking Pope's a better goalkeeper is absolutely fine, but if people are still not believing that Ramsdale does now not deserve a chance, well, then goodness me, what does Pope have to do? What does Pope
I
have to
think
do wrong?
Ramsdale,
then? Not to
give
get-
Ramsdale
take
a run.
Ramsdale.
You'll have this run when Pope's, if he's injured, then for the length of that injury. If he's not, then it's a run of games. You play it tomorrow night. As I say, probably Burnley at the weekend. Then it's Leverkusen Sunderland after that. So
It's his place to lose, isn't it? At the minute.
Well,
that's what we thought
providing
about Dubravka.
no, but Dubravka was in there for a long old time. It wasn't.
Until
Pope
the final.
didn't.
Yeah.
Pope didn't come immediately back into the team.
was it the shoulder last season with Pope? Or was that before?
Yeah,
was it
The
a different
shoulder,
one?
yeah, shoulder, I think.
Well, he
So
had the
before we
shoulder
move-
and the
Send off.
no, send off was the season
That was
before, wasn't it?
a couple
2
of years
seasons
ago.
ago, yeah.
3, yeah.
Before we move on from Pope, because
Mhm.
we've got a lot
Yep.
to talk about.
Did he not get another sending off though?
No.
Sending off.
Gordon
Pope.
got one before the cup final. That was it.
No.
Pope didn't get one last season. No.
If Pope comes back fit, does he go straight back and goal? Yes or no?
I couldn't possibly say at this moment.
Eddie Howe, well
because
done.
It's
Chris, what do you think? If
no, because
Pope-
you've
I
got to.
know, I know.
You've got to. It depends entirely on what Ramsdale does in the next.
So let's
the
say
next couple of
let's say
games.
Ramsdale doesn't shit himself.
If Ramsdale plays well, saves, continues in the vein of form that he is, limited because it's 3 games this season so far, but he's looked reliable.
Mhm.
Then he will retain his place.
Chris,
I agree. I think if Ramsdale has a steady running form, I think that it's like you said, it's his place to keep.
goalkeeping committee.
I think that Ramsdale would stay in goal ordinarily. I think Howe does like Pope though. I think Howe, unless Ramsdale, I mean, we don't know how long Pope's out for a start, if he is in fact injured, and how Ramsdale performs in the meantime. But like I said, Dubravka he did very little wrong last year.
He's
He's running the team.
Very good form, Dubravka, when he
And
got dropped.
He has been this season. But
Well, that was when his wife put the message on.
Yeah,
Life's not fair, no.
Yeah.
Now, I will say though, if he does get a run in the team, do you still see him staying in the summer?
Yeah.
Being offered a contract,
Yeah, I think so.
given there's a potential other goalkeeper that we've courted for some time
No, Trafford,
that isn't getting the game time he was expecting.
I think, I think you'd get offered some sort of deal. Yeah.
I would love to keep him personally, but if Trafford's on the table, do you then have Trafford and Pope as you 1 and 2, or do you have
It's
Trafford and Ramsdale?
It's a long time
Do you
away,
do
isn't
that?
it? Anything
Yeah,
can
you're
happen
right,
from
you're
now to then. So there's a long time away.
Trafford and Ramsdale.
I mean,
Because
Pope,
there's no
let's
agreement
not
to buy
forget,
there at the minute.
Before the West Ham game, Pope was probably the best keeper in the Premier League.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, three
Nah, he was.
clean
He
sheets.
was
He was
statistically as well,
excellent.
yeah.
He was playing really, really well. And the West Ham one was probably the least egregious of the 3 mistakes he's made, but they are getting worse.
Okay, fair.
I want to talk about our goals and get back to that Everton game. I want to discuss Malik Chow in a little bit more detail, Mark, because what a player he is. Was it 35 million? How did he only cost 35 million?
Because he wasn't getting very much game time at AC Milan, was he?
He
Bit
was
of a-
going to go to Como, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's almost a bit of a hidden gem, and like obviously when you've looked at his stats and stuff like that, there's been a player in there. He just hasn't had the chance to shine and to show it. I mean, AC Milan fans were almost
Thankful.
I wouldn't say laughing at the fact that we'd paid that much money for him, but were quite surprised.
They weren't upset with it.
Given the fee, he wasn't getting anywhere near the first team really. There was a number of players in front of him, so it made perfect sense for him to leave. Given his profile, again, coming to the Premier League is a big step up, particularly in that position. We've seen it in the past with players that have joined have struggled to adapt at centre half, but he looks like he's played there his entire life. He just looks completely suited to it.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too early on it, but he could potentially be one of our best centre halves.
And probably the one that went through the transfer window is just under the radar, Deka, as well.
I think I said that last week, that he's just there for cover, and you know, Shea will still be the starting right-sided centre half, etc., etc. I think the other massive thing, I'm always have been in the past a great believer of having a strong pairing at centre half.
Mhm.
And again, what's been amazing is I've seen him paired with Botman, I've seen him paired with Byrne, I've seen him paired with Shea, I've seen him move over to the left of the two, like the back two.
playing in the back three as well.
Absolutely fine.
Right back
Played
or
it
right
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine in every single aspect of that. And I mean, not now, and it's not going to happen all the time, of course, but now he's looking, and Hal made a great point today in his presser. And I thought this as well. He scored 2 at the weekend. Yeah, sorry, had a mind blank there. But he, on multiple occasions on set pieces, he's nearly. Does that make sense? He's getting his head
And
on.
that's something which we mentioned, Deka. Our centre backs, our defence as a whole, needs to start scoring more goals.
Yeah,
from set
I've
pieces.
said this for a long time. That we're. I mean, I want to also mention just quickly what Moyes said after the game. I don't know if you've seen his quote saying, perhaps other than Arsenal, these are the most physical and like they're just
Powerful, I think. He
powerful
said,
and physical team in the league. They just blew the doors off. We can't handle them, and that's when Newcastle's at their best. And what I'm trying to elaborate to is That's when we need to, if we are powerful, we're physical, we're big, let's start making set pieces count. And I want to credit Miley massively that finally someone put a ball in that was on the money. Now, of course, you have to have your players attack the ball. You can put the best ball in the world, but no one wants to header it, let's go. But he put it on the money, you know what I mean? And real credit.
That for me is what we've massively been missing is we've got the players in the box. We're just not getting the ball to them. And Miley, to his credit, I mean, I thought he was wonderful throughout the game.
So, yes,
His delivery was excellent.
It really was.
Assisting a goal to his name as well.
We must have had that. He must be about the 6th or 7th person we've tried on set pieces this season alone.
I'm surprised when you've got like Tonali and you've got Trippier. I mean, that's just two I'm mentioning, but you would think from a dead ball, that's going to be on the money 7 to 8 times out of 10.
Yeah.
And
we've tried Murphy, we've tried Gordon, we've tried Bonds.
I don't fancy any professional football. I fancy myself in a corner. And he was a couple of decent ball in.
Yeah. But Miley,
just beat the first man. Just beat the first man.
But Malik Chow, fantastic, great footballer. It's a pleasure to watch him play. It was great to see him score two-headed goals.
Yeah.
In the interview on the field afterwards, it's him and Voldemort interviewed, and he said Big V is saying that they had a bit of a joke this week running up to the game that he's not very good at heading, and he said he was trying to teach him techniques, but he ran out of time, didn't have much time on the training field. Saying that he doesn't need any help anymore because he grabs two great headers.
It was out. I mean, to score so early as well. I mean, having said that, I had this little feeling. I don't know if you did, but the last 3 away games we have took the lead, and we've threw it away, type of thing. So you always have that little. Getting the second goal was huge.
And in fairness, we did have a spell after scoring that first goal where they came on. I think realistically, the second goal probably came a bit in balance against the run of play.
But this is
not massively. But
no, I agree, but I also I've seen this loads in certain groups I was in, and not actually ours, but I don't think. But I've seen it on social media as well, and like we took the lead 1-0, and everyone go, here we'll go again, we're sitting off. I'm sorry, but when you go away from home, right, there's going to be times where the home team are going to have absolutely moments in the game. And what's so important is weathering that storm, weather that storm if you can, and then capitalize, which in this moment we did, whereas in the other games we haven't been able to weather that. Or actually in the other games, I will add, we've never actually come back into the game. That's been you haven't just weathered the storm. You just cannot get out your own half, if you like. Whereas I felt we weathered what we had to weather and then took the game to them.
It was nice to see, Bessie. We've not seen this for a long. We've not seen this for a long time with Jordan Pickford.
Is it his chin? We haven't seen that for a long time.
Which one?
We've seen both of them tonight.
It's not wrong in fairness.
I'm gone now. So Jordan Pickford, he normally does very, very well against Newcastle as of late. It was back to that time where he had a blunderous time. He was stinking.
I mean that second,
the ground.
That second
Maybe
goal
it was him.
That second goal was. I've never seen that done before. I've never seen a keeper put a ball through his own legs with his hands like that before. It was amazing.
It was everybody else's fault except his own as well.
That was the third goal. Was I noticed that? I mean, the third goal I don't think his fault because the defense is shocking. But he puts obviously Voldemort puts it over the top and Pickford I noticed that was that one. He started laughing after the second one, and he's weird like.
Oh, he's
a really
tapped,
weird
he's
bloke. Like,
tapped.
The third one he's having to go to defense and fair enough. Like, but even the fourth one, he's in no man's land. Like, it's a great ball in by Hall, good header by Chow, but like Pickford shouldn't be where he is. Like. Really poor.
The first one, obviously, where the away fans are in Everton's ground now.
Was that behind?
It was the opposite side of the ground, so it was the opposite corner, and it was hard to see because there was just loads of bodies in front of it. And like I did one of those match day vlogs where I basically record the build up of the game, certain moments in the game and stuff like that. And I was saying on that, it looks like Pickford's had an absolute howler there. It looks like he's chucked it in his own net. And that's basically exactly what he's done.
I've never seen it done
before. His eyes are shut. His eyes are closed. So a goalkeeper's trying to save a shot with his eyes closed. I mean, bless Jordan, my bane. That's what he would do if he went and got his 6-year-old. Like, he'd run out the way of the ball. But God bless him. But like that is for England's number one professional goalkeeper. He wouldn't have been ramped up for any more game this season than this one.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh yeah.
And it was an unbelievable mistake. But as you say though, it's these moments he has after the ball goes in, it laughing and it's just such a strange guy, isn't he? Like, I don't know I found it hilarious. To be fair. When Voldemort chipped him, the lad running back the line, I mean, that and I also want to get that goal properly. But to me, the time stood still. By the way, at that when he lobbed the keeper, I felt like it took a week for the ball to go in. But there's a defender charging back to the line, and Pickford's like doing the kick as if to try and kick it away. Oh, it's really funny. It's really funny.
It was Tarkovsky, wasn't it?
So it wasn't. So it wasn't necessarily a lob as such. It was a nice little scoop. It was a little scoop over.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
it was lovely.
I need to come on to another player who's been getting a bashing weekly, Alanga.
Yeah.
That was his best Premier League performance.
Yeah, agreed.
Without doubt. Now, the bar was low, let's be fair.
Yeah.
But listen, if I'm going to knock him, I've got to praise him when he's due it. And I thought off the ball, he worked really hard. He tucked in, he kept in shape. And I thought, especially to Mark's point, when we took the lead, them came into the game a little bit more. We were trying to almost hit them on the counter a little bit, which helps him.
Yeah.
And he did really well because the ball, I think, was Hall, pretty much of a nothing ball, but he didn't give up on it. He managed to win it back, and I mean, of course,
he does get a bit of look like with the
he
bounce
does
with the defender.
I mean, the marking
It's poor
on
defender,
Yeah,
but he's got to be there.
He does brilliantly.
Yeah,
He's got
puts,
to be there.
puts the
Ball in the
squeeze on, has
Yep.
the pace, and he finds Voltemeda, which I thought was great. And the finish was, I mean, the goal catalogue. He's only scored, was it 6-7 goals now? Sorry, I apologise, I should know the answer, but I think it's 6. Isn't it?
I think it's 5 Premier League goals in 10 games. Something
So
like
that'll
that.
be the one in a couple in the Europe.
Well, everybody will have seen the little clip highlights that have been
Premier
going of all of his goals.
He hasn't scored a normal one.
His dink, his little back heel,
Yeah, he hasn't
the
just scored
penalty,
he hasn't
the
just
two
scored a shot.
headers.
Like his catalogue of goals already is phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's absolutely phenomenal. And that one on again, a lot of players might have just tried and slide it past him, may have went round him, but like his imagination in that moment, just to put it ice cold,
The confidence as well, like, yeah.
I just thought, like, I'm a big fan of Voldemar's overall game, to be fair, but it looked like he even went up a level again on Saturday. It looked like, how strong is he, Mark? Like, you've got players trying to get that ball off him. It's very, very rarely he lose that now.
Yeah, and I found he was a lot more kind of horizontal movement across the pitch as well. Like, he was not staying as central as he kind of has been. He was drifting out to the left, coming across to the right and stuff like. Particularly going over the left, he was getting a lot more joy going out over there and picking the ball up. But again, the thing that we've maybe missed a bit with him is when he's dragging the players out from the center of the pitch. There's other players taking up those positions, and I guess playing against Everton probably helped that because they were, piling the numbers on a little bit as well. And there was a lot of space in midfield for us, given the way that they kind of lined up. But
I think you've also got to say, Mark, because of that as well, and because of the fact that we've got the fullbacks available again, that changes everything about people attacking as well.
Yeah,
Huge.
I mean,
huge for that.
I can't believe how good Lewis Hall has been on the ball, even though I've seen him for bloody last 18 months, but he just seems to get better and better. And
his left foot's magical.
You forget he's missed most of this season, and he just looks like he's came in and he's never been away.
It's when he drifts into midfield, he looks like, honestly, he looks unstoppable. Him and Tino, to be fair,
that was his position. Well,
yeah.
Centre midfielder, and so
He's played there. Yeah.
When he comes inside the midfield, he's so comfortable.
We were doing that a lot. I mean, there was one point where them two were basically playing either side of Voldemort, and you're like, "Hold on, these are our fullbacks.
Yeah.
What on earth are you doing?"
I think there's at one point where Tino links up Hall in the box.
Yeah. And I think I'm trying to match the day.
Yeah. I wanted to mention two things. So they had Michael Keane and Tarkovsky centre halves, and personally, I thought, Voltemeda might struggle here because they are physical.
Yeah,
physical centre halves. And to be honest, in moment they couldn't lay a glove on him. I mean, you know what I mean? And I could be wrong on the timings here, but we scored with 55 seconds. So, was it
fastest goal of the
before the goal
season so far?
Yeah.
If it
2-1,
I think it was before the goal, then so it must have been within 10 seconds. Voltemeda holds it up, and
Alanga,
he plays Alanga in.
Yeah.
That must have been almost from kickoff.
Well, that's the corner that was scored from.
Oh, well, they were going.
Yeah,
Right,
so
sorry.
20
So
seconds, that
that's
was
right.
it,
Yeah, so 20 seconds, and it was so refreshing to see someone breaking beyond, because I've sat here and moaned for weeks about that same thing.
Yeah.
But he held it up so well, and Alanga's on his bike, plays him in, forces a save, corner goal. It was really, 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 really good. Really, really good.
Honestly, I love him. I love Voldemort. I was really worried about this season. I really was.
Yeah.
I mean, we also 14th, so probably fair enough.
I was really worried about replacing the goal threat that were pissed off the Liverpool.
Yeah.
And
started scoring now.
He scored one.
Hopefully, he gets one tomorrow or
Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday. But it's just nice to see somebody come from another league and just hit the ground running. I know he's been forced to do that and he's been thrown in. Well, we'll get on to the news about Wissa in a little bit. but it's just he just seems like an amazing player. Look, he seems like a player basically that's been here for seasons upon seasons.
I mean, we kind of said, I think everyone said when he first signed that it's coming from the Bundesliga, a young lad, and he'd only been in Stuttgart's first team for a season. He was it Wolfsburg or Bremen before that, and he was in the third division 2-3 years ago. So it's been you only really had 3/4 of a season scoring goals up front for Stuttgart last year. And you know the kind of how short term that is. We've seen players like when CC signed, he had that great half season, and he's kept scoring goals, but he was he slowed right down. And there's that fear. Is that going to happen? Acclimatizing. I know the Bundesliga is a really, really strong league, but I think the worst Premier League team probably is better than the mid-table Bundesliga team. I'd probably say that's fair enough to say. The strongest are like Munich, Dortmund, Leverkusen, like them are the good sides.
And Munich did want them, I guess.
Yeah, they did.
They wouldn't want to pay that much money.
But I mean, I know Voldemort has looked at Harry Kane's game, and that's kind of trying to. There are obviously quite big differences, but I think Munich saw him as being a bit of a Kane-esque, like to slip into that kind of position as well, playing that way. But yeah, the way he started, scoring his debut as well. We always, when we talk about Miggy, that when he hit the post against Huddersfield, Elanga this season, that one where Martinez, Forest keeper saved it, Villa, the first game this season, to score on his debut against Wolves and then just keep on scoring is massive. And for his confidence, and you're talking about him looking stronger, his first game he had to get taken off 50 minutes. He's like, I'm knackered.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely just here, cramping that. And now you look at him, and players are starting to bounce off him a little bit. I mean, he's a big lad. He's tall, he's very used to, he's slender looking, but he a bit of muscle on him. And now, as we know, he's hopefully very shortly going to have competition for his place, so he's got to perform.
We might as well move on to that, Deka. So news today, we were going to do a podcast whether or not Wissa should go to the African Cup of Nations or stay at Newcastle. And it looks like he's not being included in the squad, and he's going to be staying on Tyneside.
Yeah, it's amazing news. Like I think I'm not going is for different reasons than I thought. So if my original sort of ploy was going to be, listen, like he's going to try and order the club. We've paid a lot of money for him. He hasn't pulled on the shirt. He's going to stay here and play. However, I think it's more so the case of he's physically not able to do that yet because he hasn't been training. So I think it's more so that.
Oh, the statement says the opposite. Like,
what does it say?
That literally he owes the club, and that's why he's.
Keith Downey put that out. Yeah,
I apologise, I missed that. Then, part of us feels that, and that's how I thought it would go. I think I said that weeks ago privately to you, and that thinking I just feel he owes her, which is amazing, by the way. It's fantastic. It really is. And Michael Owen didn't do that, and his knee went within Sweden and all the rest. Anyway, so it's absolutely amazing, and again, to credit Voltemeda for coming in and definitely playing a lot more minutes than we ever wanted him to this early. But he's held the fort, and now there's going to be not just competition there, but also maybe a partnership can start to develop. But also everybody needs to pump the brakes on Wissa.
Yep.
We need to give him time because goodness me, he's been out for a long, long time. He really has. Now you could flip that and say, well, so was Hall. Look at how he looks, but just be patient. But it's amazing that it looks like he's now. I think he's playing under 21s. I believe
he played 11v11 game.
Yeah. So hopefully he doesn't break down. He comes back. Fantastic news though that he's not going away. I think that's the big.
I've forgotten up until literally you were talking there, Deka. For some reason, I thought the combination was still like months and months away. And it's literally the week after next, isn't it?
Yeah.
Take 2.5 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah. I thought I was on the squad. That means he's going to have a bit more time to recuperate, and the maybe I might call him up later on. But no.
There's a lot of talk that he'll be maybe available for the derby, as in part of the squad.
Yeah,
that's going to start
first game back.
Week after next.
Yeah,
still 4 games away, but
it's mad for us. I think it's 2 for them, it's 4 for us, which is crazy, isn't it? It's only got 2 games in us, but we have a lot in between. But listen, I just hope that he doesn't have any breakdowns or any issues, and this hopefully he can come up, because thinking of it going over, because I could listen. I'm not going to Deka start these games here, but all the press conferences I've been watching. There's been a lot of talk about from now until March, which you may have heard. We'll play like 80 games between now and March. There's not a weekend off. Like, it was insane.
The next international break, isn't it? I think.
They were on about all the games, and he was saying basically you don't have a weekend. Sorry, a midweek off from now until March.
Yeah, you don't get a full week to prepare for the next game.
Depending on the FA Cup, though.
Yes.
Well, fair.
Are they not doing the mid-season break this year?
No.
that they have done for the last couple of seasons.
No, I don't think so. No, not this year.
Unless it's World Cup year, maybe.
There was a couple of like journalists mentioned that, and how was he's honest. It's a lot of games, like so you're going to you need Wissa because look at the Marseille game, but I couldn't start, which I agreed with, by the way.
Yeah, I did as well.
Because I thought Everton away was more important.
Yeah,
you shouldn't really prioritise games, but I did in my head. So getting him back, hopefully fit, firing, could really kick one. Really kick one.
And we don't need to rush him because Voldemort is doing so well at the minute. You probably expected it to be the other way around, given that Wissa does know the league, has played in it umpteen times, and he would be much more comfortable being dropped straight in there. But we've got that luxury now of being able to have ease Big Nick into the league, getting them used to it and scoring goal. That pressure's not there that we need to rush.
Harvey Barnes has timed his little goal scoring run really well as well. Really well.
That actually leads us on to some two things I wanted to ask. Sorry, that side of the table I might not really care, but I also think Osula being out hasn't helped either, because you're still relying on Voltemeda to try and play the full 90s here. You know what I mean? Or stick Alanga up top.
Well, you'd have expected him to probably have started.
At Marseille, you would have, right?
Yeah.
So it's still a loss, right? The other thing is what's your thoughts now on Gordon then? So obviously Barnes, of course, that's been brilliant, right? He's really, as you say, hitting the ground now and getting goals and whatever. What happens?
I think it's a great option to have. Like, it really is. And do you know what it is? I think we've all criticised Gordon throughout the start of the season up until where we are now. But we've always threw that caveat in there as well, mentioned the fullbacks. Barnes, yes, is scoring goals, but obviously the last 2-3 games we've had the fullbacks available as well. Gordon, yes, he's thrown up top against Marseille, so you can't really judge him for that performance when he hasn't been on the left-hand side. So I think Gordon's performances will change now that we've got those fullbacks available.
I'm tipping him to be a hero in the derby, like
Gordon. I still love Gordon. I'm
a big fan of him.
I don't love Anthony-Gordon, but I think at the minute you're picking your strongest 11. It's Harvey Barnes on left.
100%.
What's giving you that faith, like?
Do you know when I always have this thing where I think players need a moment. And I don't know why. I haven't got the answer. I haven't had a dream or anything like that about it. I just think.
Don't tell Martin Luther King.
The thing is with Gordon, I think with their crowd being his back, I think he's the kind of player that'll thrive on that.
That's
some players.
Tell that Everton.
He did in the cup game, didn't he? Obviously with
Dan Ballard.
I just think
with the shirt thing and that.
Wasn't it? It was Tree Hume, wasn't it? I thought he was having a big hour with on it.
Was it not Ballard?
No, I think it was Tree.
No, that was on. Was that not on social media or something?
No, I think it was Tree Hume. He plays there right back, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Show us Hume where he was pulling out his shirt and he said, "You want me shirt?" Show us Hume.
It was good, like. But I just have I don't know, I have the sneaky feeling that everyone's counting him out, and I think he's been dreadful, and
rightly so, given his performances.
He's not been.
I think you take the Benfica game out of it. I can't really tell you when he played
and you know what it is? It's because we know what he's capable of, and he's not delivering that at the moment, and that's why he is probably getting as much stick, because you know how good he can be, and when he's just not delivering, that's
since he did that Gary Neville podcast.
Ever since then, I don't think it's quite as long as
right
that.
As well. And I have said this for a lot of times. I say about my mate every week. Sometimes when he collects the ball, you've got 3 to beat every single time. Yeah. So hopefully with having Hall, with overlapping and things like that, that'll obviously help because it takes a man away, etc., etc. I just always have this thing with Gordon though that, like, he hasn't really got skill. So if he's one-on-one with someone, he can lock it past you and beat you on pace. If that fullback is as fast as him, you're in for a long night, like, because he can't. Does that make sense? Like,
we saw that at home at Fulham. Kenny Tete had him on toast.
It's more of a drop of a shoulder with Gordon, isn't it?
Yeah, like,
it's balance with him. I know he goes down a lot, but it is like, that notwithstanding, he has got the balance where he can go either way and stuff like that. But it's not where Maximum was the trickery. Barnes is a give and go. Gordon is it's the pace. But yeah, if you've got a fast fullback,
because I feel Barnes is very good at dropping the shoulder. He is very good at doing that, and then to come inside or whatever it may be. Whereas Gordon is very much, I'll square up against you and knock it past you.
Yeah.
And I just feel sometimes if that fullback is as fast as he's in trouble, right?
A lot of people in the comments blaming his haircut.
Well, I felt like
it has coincided. Like,
is that white stupid band he was wearing in pre-season?
You know that Man United guy who doesn't cut, he's not going to cut his hair. I nearly thought I'm not going to
now, wasn't he? Yeah, it could be coming to an end soon.
I was the winner streak again, did they?
They'd be Palace. I was going to put on saying, is he not getting his haircut until he has a good game or something? Like, what's going on? But he needs that chop. Like,
I remember
if you're watching Anthony, come on, man.
Who was the Arsenal centre? No, Wimbledon centre half went to Sheffield United in the early 90s. Oh, that's going back a long time. This time. Alan Cork. He went to Sheffield United in the early 90s. He started growing a bit.
Bald.
Yeah. bald, and he went to Sheffield United and he started growing a beard. And someone said, when are you going to shave it off? He says, I'll shave it off when we get knocked out of the FA Cup. They got the semis. So he had his big bushy beard by the end of the season. He got beat off Sheffield Wednesday in the semis. It was the year that Arsenal beat Wednesday in both cup finals.
Oh,
when
right,
Steve Morrow broke his Tony Adams dropped him.
The Newcastle team did
93.
this a handful of seasons, probably about 10, 15 years ago, where the players started and all had like a tash.
Joey Barton, remember against Villa?
All of them had a tash.
There was the rumour that he did the Hitler salute with a tash in front of
they said they weren't going to shave until they won a game. And I think we won like the second game of the season or something. I remember that season, all the stickers, like in the stick album, the Merlins, they've all got like facial hair. It looks ridiculous.
It was when we first came back up.
It'll be the same this season.
Was that on Mohamed Villa?
Maybe he's got tash this
Hamad
year.
We got beat at Old Trafford 3-0 first game, then we'll beat Villa 6-0.
I think a lot of them had tashes on that game.
Yeah.
And then obviously they won.
No, they did, yeah.
That was an amazing game, that, by the way.
Shall we go through some questions? If anybody's got any questions, send them in and we'll go through as many as possible. So this one was from Blue Rhythm Boy that says, am I right in thinking it's confirmed Wissa won't go to African Cup of Nations? Yes, you are. We've just discussed that. There is a question from Tony Timebridge that says, do you think we will make any signings in January? I think
I can answer that one later.
Secret meetings.
Secret meetings
In the stack.
Not so secret meetings tonight.
So personal opinion, I think we might look at the fullback area. If we just look at the right back situation, you've got Tino that can play there, you've got Trips, you've got Kraft. Trips isn't getting any younger. Kraft is all right when called upon, but I think you probably need to look at somebody to.
And Malik Chow can play that.
I think you're probably going to look at a right back.
I think
and a left back probably.
If the two positions, I think right back ahead of left back.
I agree.
Back, Tino don't play.
Sure,
I don't think you'd see Hall at right back.
So. Unless they both get injured at exactly the same time again.
Yeah, but yeah,
because that's what we thought.
Right back.
Just a matter of weeks ago, didn't we? That we had adequate cover.
Any other areas I can think of?
Ideally, you would want somebody that can cover both of those positions. Like
another Tino
would be amazing, wouldn't it? Aaron Hughes was, where my mind went to it originally, because to that point, your left side, you've literally got Hall and Byrne. And as much as I love Big Dan, I probably don't want him to see playing left back again. Right side.
Hang on.
Right side.
Rewind? What did you say? What? Rewind? What? What's been going on in these secret meetings? The drugged you.
Are you all right?
You're all right.
I'm not feeling very well.
What did you say?
Jesus. I probably don't want to see him playing there again.
Stop the press.
Fair play, mate. It's like that's the best thing. Like it's always a nice little journey when you admit at the first step.
How many there? No, but like it's.
Well done.
Look, I mean, we can go back when he, 2 years ago when he was the best left back in the country. But
2 years ago,
it's 2 years ago. He's, as Besty said a number of times, he's about half a stone heavier than he was then.
So's Dan Byrne.
So's Dan Byrne. Well done, like that one. That was good. Almost missed it.
I think Dan Byrne might have one of those red emergency telephones in his house, and that is going mental now because you've said that.
Sorry, Dan. Still love you.
I think
he absolutely needs to play constantly in centre half, though.
And news as well. Sorry, Callum Lewis has sent a message on Telegram to us directly that says Dan Byrne is the voice of the genie in the panto at Whitley Bay. No, Blythe. Sorry, not Whitley Bay. Blythe this year.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll tell you who the fairy godmother is.
Secret meetings. Any other position that you can think of?
Do you know what is it? I think we're. Are we in a position? Can we sign someone in January who is going to improve our 11? I would say not. Not in January.
No, I agree.
It's so difficult to get someone that is that. Why on earth would a club be selling them if he's that good? Like to improve our 11, it's pretty strong, I think, on paper.
So let me step in at this point because
is this about your secret meeting?
Obviously, I was a little bit late to the podcast tonight because there's been a fans event on at the Stack, and two of the guests were the new CEO and director of football, and Ross Wilson, who obviously was talking in that position, spoke about kind of his role and what he's looking to do, and he didn't he didn't say we will absolutely sign a player in January, but what stood out for me is that he said is that they're constantly looking. That there's already been a number of meetings being held with the scouting team, with Steve Nixon, with Eddie, and all of those around identifying targets.
He's a Borough.
And what he, not that target, and what he said is that
it's Shane Ferguson all over again.
There's we do need another left back. There's targets that have been identified that you are potentially looking at down the line, i.e., maybe in the summer or in seasons ahead. But he used the phrase was that we might look to accelerate those,
like a Gordon situation.
So
Gordon,
he's not saying we will sign a player, but kind of the way he kind of explained it is that should we there's players that we've identified, should they be available and we can do a deal, then we will absolutely try and sign them in this window. They're definitely looking and have identified players that would strengthen the first team, the squad. He spoke at length around the academy and the young players. He absolutely waxed lyrical about Lewis Miley and how pleased he was with him, particularly from the weekend. Interesting stat, not a Deka stat because it's not made up, but he's the second most Premier League minutes for an English teenager
ever
this season.
Is he still a teenager? I thought he was
Can I just say
Teenage, 19.
Miley man, idiot.
That's ridiculous.
So,
like,
but that's a good that
it was the most
having that amount of game time in the Premier League at that age.
Is Lewis Scully the?
Has to be.
Well, I thought so.
Yeah,
has to be. Anything else that you take? So there is a question.
There's quite a bit of
so if
stuff that we
if
can.
they're talking about maybe accelerating incoming transfers, then they must be quite confident of satisfying it's not called PSR now, is it? But whatever that is, I'm guessing they talked about that at the meeting.
They did, yeah. They spoke about, and he was at pains to talk around the whole strategy on looking at that part in particularly. He spoke around the work that he's doing behind the scenes with the scouting team. That they brought in, obviously, we all know that they brought in a new head of data and analysis inside of that, but they're also increasing the number of people that they've got that in that area. The scouting network, he's massively recruited there and continues to recruit
it's all over
in those areas because he
wants going to get you, ain't you, German expert? They're going to get you.
Well, I mean, I did have a word at the end there when we came in, but so. There was a lot of. I was really impressed, in all honesty, with Ross Wilson, with what he had to say. His pedigree, kind of within the game and stuff like that. What he's looking to achieve and bring in. He spoke about the relationship that he has with Eddie and that kind of thing, which is obviously was a bit of a doubt and a hangover from the last bloke that was in that.
Well, we did hear the
position.
same from the last bloke last thing as well, mind.
He did stop short of saying that they had a good relationship, though, didn't he? But
there is a question about the event, Mark, which just came in from one of our members, which is Sheffy VR, let's say.
Shea Fever?
Was Mark at the same meeting that Adam P was at? Stadium announcement doesn't seem close. So I think that's what a lot of people were hoping to get from this, because the last time, which was what, Mark? Probably about a year ago. It was a similar event, wasn't it? With the same sort of job roles that were there on stage. Just
slightly less, because there was only two.
Four that was the last time.
David Hopkins and Ross Wilson were the only two there.
We were told that we would hear news about the stadium in the near future when that first meeting happened.
Yeah.
We are still yet to hear anything about it.
And
any update?
You won't.
Oh, okay.
You will not hear. So the question was asked a little bit twofold, in all honesty, because there's another meeting happening on Wednesday, which is all around season tickets and waiting lists and that kind of thing. One bit of good news that came out around season tickets is that they are looking to offer a number of season tickets out to people that are there, and that's why they want to get it right.
Did they give you any sort of percentages or?
So they referenced a certain number of tickets that hit the headlines recently.
Yeah.
That were available for
that
certain
48?
schools within
Was it?
Dundee.
Something like that?
So that was one lot of tickets that he absolutely spoke about, and that they are looking to offer them as season tickets, which I did find interesting given the fact that they have been available over the last couple of months, but as members tickets and on general sale and stuff like that. So there's a follow-up meeting on Wednesday, which is going to be all around season tickets and waiting lists. I did have in the back of my mind, is this with a view to potentially something around moving to another stadium and how that all works? But that follow-up question was asked about the stadium, and I guess the initial feeling of saying that nothing's going to happen imminently is a little bit disappointing, based on the fact that we are waiting to hear. It's been talked about for quite some time about all of the checks that have been doing, all of the case studies and all of that kind of thing. But he basically said they're not in a position to make any announcements. However, it's something that they talk about on a daily basis. It's something that they are actively working on. They're trying to get to a position where they can make the right decision. And I guess from that point of view, that you don't want to rush into a decision like that.
It's got to be the correct decision.
And that's it. And what he's basically, turned around. This is a generational decision of what you do with that club. So you've got to absolutely make sure that it's the right decision that's made, and that's why, because he basically said he's 85 days into his appointment at the minute. And again, something else that I'll kind of come on to is around, everybody's heard about his 100-day plan that he kind of came in. He wanted to look at the club from top to bottom, see how it was operating and stuff like that. He's done that. He's done that ahead of schedule, albeit only by 2 weeks. But he shared a key bit of information, was that he's put together a strategic plan of how he can take the club forward. His ambition is to make the club one of the best and biggest clubs in the world. His commercial background gives him the ability to look at those things. Again, something that's been really, really hot topic is around sponsorship. Why don't we have training ground sponsorships, training kit sponsors, all of that kind of thing? He categorically sat there and said, if we are having this conversation again next year, I've failed in my job.
That's
So
good news.
that is a good step in the right direction there. So I think I got a good faith in that his commercial acumen, the way that he sets up and works within businesses will absolutely take us in the right direction. I also think he would make a fantastic politician, because he did give a lot of woolly answers, and also kind of answered questions but didn't really answer them as well. Whereas I thought Ross Wilson was absolutely straight down the line, would answer questions and stuff like that. I guess that comes again with the positions that he's in. He's got to be a bit more cagey. But all in all, I thought what they both had to say, they came across very, very well. And again, something that I've worried about, we've spoken about a couple of times on the podcast, is around the PIF involvement at the club. There almost seems to be a little bit of a disconnect there. You don't see or hear anything, but he actually came out and said PIF are 100% invested in this club. He speaks with PIF on a daily basis, as does Ross Wilson. They have a clear strategy for the club at this time. However, he wants to change and bring his own. He has a meeting on Monday with PIF and the board where they're going to decide on the strategy and the direction that the club will take moving forward. And that they are fully aligned behind of taking this club and seizing the opportunity that's there and available.
There's a couple of questions came in, and I'll reword them slightly. Was there any sort of mention about preventing the situation that we were in the summer happening again with players and negotiations, contracts?
So the question was asked around, again, when we're talking about transfers and stuff like that, is will Newcastle keep a hold of their best players? They both answered this question and they both answered it slightly differently. They both said we absolutely want to keep our best players. Ross Wilson was a bit more football orientated in that, of that sometimes that decision is taken out of your hand.
Yeah.
It's
Which
not
a
to say
sensible
that
football fan would understand.
we will want to do it, but sometimes you'll have to. He did talk about player trading, but he stopped short of saying that player trading, i.e. the bigger players, because he then went on to talk around the development within the academy, the youth players that we're bringing down. So I guess it kind of links in with the situation we had with Minty. But he then talked about making sure that everything that we're set up with is the best environment for those players, so that those players don't want to go anywhere and wouldn't want to leave. That's then where David Hopkins came in and started talking about of that it's within the club's control to ensure that the players are not in a position where they're wanting to explore other opportunities. So whether that be by making sure that they're paid correctly, making sure that they're valued, making sure that they're happy at the club and the family's happy at the club and stuff like that. So it, again, they can't turn around and say we won't sell players, but the view is they absolutely do not want to lose their best players. They want to improve. They want to grow.
So basically, they're saying they're going to try everything that they can to prevent this happening.
Absolutely. And what we talked about earlier around transfers is they want to invest and make the team the best team that they can do, given everything that we've got at our disposal. But they recognise that through player trading, through commercial generation of revenue, that's the only way that we're going to be able to do that. So that means the sponsorship stuff that he talked about, bringing in additional ticket sales. He talked about kind of all of the merchandising and stuff, and all of that kind of stuff that we're doing as a club. He did give a little bit of a hint away of that, given kind of around the current situation with the ground, is that they can't do everything that they will want to do because there's limitations to it, which again then sparks a little bit of a thought of, again, is this why we potentially need to move to another stadium to be able to do that? But then he then pulled that back around and said, so we just look at what we can do given the stadium that we're in and what opportunities are there.
There you go. You didn't even have to go. I mean, Mark's told you as best he can. I'm going to quickly fire through two more questions. Deka has had a very proud moment later today, and I was very proud of you, Deka. I've already told you about this. Very, very proud of Deka. And lads, I want you to be here for this moment. Deka went in the club shop today, but he went in the club shop and he left without buying something.
I couldn't.
Must have stole something.
I don't believe it.
Are
you all right?
You should have seen us leaving the shop. I was like on the wall, like, I shouldn't. So I you're right. I haven't been in a while because my jobs have changed, so I'm not in town as often. But today I wanted to have a look in, and they had a new. I really like it. Like, so do you know?
He's going back tomorrow.
He's going back tomorrow. I think I might get it on Thursday actually. But so you know the hoodie that we wore for the cup final. So it's the full zip. It's actually it's like this, but it's a hoodie material.
Yeah,
with a hood, obviously. They've got that in navy now, but the badge is
like a silhouette,
all white. Like it's like a
shadow. It's a blocked out. It's like a blocked out logo.
Yes, yeah. Now the problem
there's one of ZNE ones.
Similar, but it's like a newer version of that.
Yeah. It's a navy one, same design, white badge, all white badge. The Adidas logo. I will be honest, it's huge. Like it's like that. It's absolutely massive. And I tried it on, and I was like, "Oh, it's lush!" Like, and I was gonna buy it, and I thought, "No, I didn't." So I didn't.
You have got 27 jackets.
I know that's what I thought. And then I even picked up a notebook and went, "I've got to buy something." You know, I was looking at a Joe Linton 7 signed book thing. I was like, I could buy that.
He was even after buying Dan Burton's bin.
But yeah, so that a few bits new gear in. Christmas jumpers are in as well. If
Okay.
anyone, yeah.
Apparently, there's a new range coming out on Wednesday as well.
Oh well, I'm going in Thursday. Then. I'll have a
New
look.
range.
I went
Christmas
in
range.
last week
Training
and I
range,
seen
apparently.
they had quite a few
Oh yeah,
new
there
ranges
is.
of stuff in
So have
as
you
well.
seen the Navy one?
Probably, but I can't picture
I was
it.
just worried. I say worried, just a stupid thing to say, but I didn't know if it was maybe a woman's selection. I wasn't sure because it was upstairs.
I was going to say, was it upstairs or downstairs?
I loved it though. It was a lovely jacket. I thought it was lush.
Where was it when you went upstairs? Because they've had a bit of a shuffle around. haven't they?
So if you were coming up the escalators, it was directly in the middle. It was in the middle section.
Sometimes they do put some of the last
Yeah.
stuff there as well, but
Yeah.
it's always a mixture of stuff.
Yeah, because
them
was it?
were
Oh, sorry.
amongst the ladies
Oh
stuff
no,
as well.
I tell a bit of a lie.
Either on
Sorry,
the
I
back
tell a
of
bit of a
everything.
lie. It wasn't. Sorry, I tell a lie. It was more towards where the home shirts are. You know, where they've got all the home shirts on the wall. It was kind of there. If that makes sense, like on a rack. It's a nice top though. I should just go online and see it. Like I mean,
Yeah.
but I'll show you at the end.
As we're speaking about kits, Blue Rhythm Boy has said, can anyone comment on the sizing of the home shirt fan version? Will I need to size up? I always size up when I
Fan
get a football
version?
shirt. To be the replica
Yeah,
one.
fan versions.
I always size up.
I
true
think.
true to size, I would have said.
Yeah, I've tried. If you're a large, it's a large. Because I will credit Adidas. I do think their sizing's pretty bang on.
Castor, you had to go up a size.
Absolutely
didn't
right.
you?
Yeah.
See,
Puma, you
I
had to go up
disagree.
2 sizes.
Do you think Adidas is good?
I've
fit?
got
That
so
you did the
many
size
stuff.
for that.
What?
But that's the size Adidas top.
So this is extra large,
Right.
but I've got that version, which is a double XL, which fits the same as this.
Okay.
But that's t-shirt sort of things.
Right. Okay.
But shirts, I've to be fair, I prefer my shirt to be baggier anyway. That's
Aye.
probably why I size up. To be fair,
Yeah.
So I've always sized up when it comes to football shirts. To be fair,
Okay.
if it was the
I
pro
find
one,
I find
I wouldn't get the
Adidas
size
is
up.
a little
Pro
bit
one, you've
more
got to
to
go
point.
up,
Like
It depends on the range. I've got my now the hoodie I always wear. That's double XL and it's big on his. I've got the training top that Deka's wearing now, but the t-shirt version in 3XL I can't get into it.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like it depends on the range.
the material as well.
Well, I
like,
went
the website- the
because they
website's
brought
got
out another.
guy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I want to say black hoodie like this,
Yeah.
which is like the black t-shirt that we've got. I
Oh,
went
yeah, yeah.
I went to buy that the other day, and that's tiny.
It's weird. I
Yeah.
think you probably like. I know it's hard to do this if you're not local, but
The shirts are pretty. I would say true to size.
kits-
what you
in
do-
the- in
kits
the
on, yeah.
fans one.
what I did for the last one,
Yeah.
order both shirts, stick them both on something like Klarna, then just send one them back.
Send
then
one
just
back,
pay for it.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're not
that's
out of pocket massively. Like just do it that way.
So you
That's
just
what I
pay
did
for
the last one.
the one shirt. That'll be yeah.
Yeah, just pay
Alright,
30
yeah.
days.
Is there
if
free
you can do
returns
that.
on NUFC.co.uk?
I think so. Yeah.
I think I might go back and buy the cream,
Shaking.
you
Yeah.
know, the cream originals one,
Yeah.
which has the
It's
little
a nice
old
one,
logo
that, yeah.
and the originals badge. It's like a 3/4.
I've got that.
Oh yes, nice
I
that one.
think
Yeah,
I
I
might-
nice.
on
because
the
I was between that one and then this new navy one, which you've just seen.
Yeah.
It was that one there.
A bit more dressy, that isn't it?
It is.
I like a cream one,
See,
but it's a
when-
bit. it
my
just
old
gets
job,
dirty
I used
straight
to be able to wear all the gear.
Yeah,
I could just go to work
Especially if you're
wearing
in
that,
tomato
but I
soup.
can't in this job. So I don't wear it.
Last question, and we'll end it on a fun one. So this is from Jules
Oh,
that
quite fun.
says, "Which panel characters would the lads best fit?" So from the four of us, right? I'll be able to tell you straight away.
I don't know any panel.
So
Jack and the Beanstalk.
no, as in the characters within it. So
Yeah,
Mark,
the giant.
Mark and Besty would be the dames, 100%. 100%.
Oh no, I
Oh,
wouldn't.
100%, wouldn't it? They'd
Yeah,
be
probably, yeah,
outstanding.
yeah.
He'd be
He'd be
buttons.
Prince Charming or
Buttons.
something. No, he'd be Prince. I'd be Buttons. He'd be Prince Charming or something.
Yeah, I'll take that. Like, I'll take
But
that.
used to would definitely be the ones in the dresses. Like.
Fair enough. Like
Yeah,
that.
probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it's-
And I think you should do a
We'll
great
have
job.
to do it again then. won't we?
Oh no, we won't. But yeah, I think that's what we would be.
Score prediction for tomorrow, Bestie. Go up.
Tottenham at home, isn't it?
Correct.
Yes.
2-0.
Right up there. Chris,
3-1.
Mark.
oh, see, we're all feeling too confident, and this is where, because I think we'll easily beat them tomorrow.
This is
because
where
they're-
this
Go
run
on,
of form
Mark.
starts.
Mark's normally the more, like.
you're making us doubt myself now, no, but yeah, I think we'll
I think we'll
I
get
think we'll do
6 points by this time next week.
which would actually
Scoreline.
put us in
Scoreline.
a higher position than we were at the same time last season.
Well, the run last season didn't start until in about a fortnight. Well, it was kind of December, second week of December.
It's almost like I was
Listen.
right a couple of weeks ago, just to tell everybody to relax and not
As long as-
comment.
We're not there yet.
As
I
long
know.
as we can build momentum coming
Yeah,
into
we're
this-
not
a
there
certain
yet.
game along the line,
Yeah.
this is important. Scoreline.
2-0.
We're gonna beat them. We're gonna blow the doors off them 2-0. I'm gonna go
Yours gonna be ridiculous, 10-0.
4-1 again, like it's same as Saturday.
Yeah,
we're gonna blow the doors off them, lads.
Okay. Yeah, confidence. That's what we need.
I mean, they do look
They look shot, right?
shocking.
At the moment.
They're really good away from home until we beat them in the cup, and then they've been all over
So
the place.
did West Ham.
Yeah, you're absolutely
Yeah,
right.
but West Ham
You're
were
absolutely
showing some green shoots.
No way.
And we had
We started them shoots.
Them got beat at the weekend, didn't they? Comfortably now, apparently.
Totally.
They are struggling at home. And I know that they played PSG during the week. They put 3 past them. They got beat, mind you.
Yeah.
But, and I agree, you should never take things for granted. But I think we'll blow the doors off them.
Yeah. There has been a match preview recorded the same time as what we went live here. So that should be out hopefully tonight. If not, it'll be first thing tomorrow morning. It'll be straight out for everybody. And we've got plenty more stuff. I'll probably do another match day vlog tomorrow as well.
3 Premier League wins in a row.
Be nice.
Cooking on gas,
Make it
gentlemen.
4th, and I'm happy.
4. Make it 5. It'll be 5.
5.
No,
I'm
if you
very
get-
happy.
if
The
you-
fifth
just-
one's one.
Let's just hope Dr. Newcastle doesn't
Yeah.
turn up
I'm
tomorrow.
just looking at tomorrow. If you can win tomorrow and get 3 Premier League wins, cooking on gas, lads.
This
Yeah.
podcast will be getting clipped to bits after our predictions.
Oh,
if
yeah,
Dr.
oh, yeah.
Newcastle turns up.
Yeah. But thanks everybody who has joined us. Been over 200 views tonight. Just like the video, if you would like to give us a little review, if you are listening to the audio, it helps us out massively. Become a subscriber. It costs you nothing to do that. If you do want to give an extra bit back, it is just $2.99 a month to become a member as well, and you get early access to stuff. You get extra stuff as well amongst there, and access to the Telegram group. If you aren't following us on the rest of the socials, just keep an eye out on TikTok and Instagram. There has been a video posted of Deka today, and he is getting rinsed. I'll tell you that.
It's just
It's his French video.
Yeah.
He's getting torn to bits
seriously.
in that one.
To be fair, that was worse than his bloody midfielder one.
I'm very good.
Listen,
Stick by your
Decker's
words,
wasn't
Deka.
that bad.
my man.
You taught me.
Thanks, Besty.
It wasn't that bad.
But yeah, we'll have plenty more stuff like that coming as well. But yeah, what you was doing. We'll see you next time. Yeah, ta-ra!
Ciao.